It's Frank. Frank. Mr. Frank. I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fareway Frank.
Welcome to Fareway, your Fareway family.
Spring has sprung in the great state of Iowa, and if you've been thinking about getting outdoors with your family during the best time of year, we want to help you here at Plaza RV. We are a locally owned RV dealer in Bondurant who cares about our customers before, during, and most importantly, after your purchase. Give us a chance. We will treat you like family. Buy local. Buy from Plaza RV.
Shane Gillis, live on stage.
I'm a bit of a history buff, which, by the way, that is early onset Republican.
His biggest tour ever is coming to Des Moines.
You're a white dude in your 20s and 30s, and you're like, I can't stop reading about World War II. It's coming, bro. You're right.
See Shane Gillis with his unmistakable comedic style. Live at Wells Fargo Arena Saturday, May 31st. Get tickets now at iowaeventcenter.com. For more, visit ShaneMGillis.com.
Two guys, two Chris's, one network. Iowa Everywhere. It's time for Two Guys with Chris Williams and Chris Hassel. Presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery from the Channel Seed Studios. Where? Everywhere. Live and always on demand at Iowa Everywhere.
What is up? Welcome to Two Guys here on the 26th of May. It is Memorial Day. My name is Chris Williams, joined as always by Chris Hassel. We are in the Channel Seed Studios. We are presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery. I think we're the only show going today.
Yeah, what the hell's up with that? We're carrying the whole goddamn network?
Well, it's Memorial Day.
I think Overthinking's going today.
Oh, Overthinking's going to roll. Good.
I believe. Yeah, they were taking questions on Instagram.
My God.
So.
It shouldn't just be us.
Matt.
You guys didn't even do a Williams and Bloom on Cyclone Fanatic last night.
We didn't. No. We will. We'll make it up.
Meanwhile, I'm here. It's my mom's last day here, and I'm taking an hour out of my day just to keep your network afloat.
We appreciate all of your sacrifices, Chris.
Especially on this day, right?
Hey, we should give a thank you to your mom. She's always in the chat. She's always commenting on our stuff. Thanks, Mama Hass.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mama, Peterson?
Mama Peterson, yeah. She's in the other room watching on the YouTubes.
What have you guys been doing?
Oh, pool every day. Every day we've been out at the pool. We've been running around town. Had some, my wife made some great hot Italian beef last night.
What makes it Italian beef?
I don't know.
For the cows from Italy?
Yeah, Sicilian cows.
Now, what was this?
That was my message for Chiz Williams. That's that's my favorite drink. It's called a French Carpenter.
God.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
a pickle in your drink?
It's not. That's a lemon that has been perfectly.
That's not a lemon.
Charred. It is. They take the lemon peel and they quick flash light it on fire. Gives it a little twist.
They light it on fire?
Yeah, and then they put it on the ice cube in the drink. It's amazing. It's got whiskey. It's got China Amaro.
What is that?
And green chartreuse.
What are those things?
Stuff that you will never understand. I saw you yesterday. Looked like you were... What the hell was that drink you had? I didn't know whether to be more upset by the drink you had or what you were wearing. You sent it to the group chat. You were drinking like some kind of weird iced tea. But you were wearing these cut-off skinny jorts.
Those are the Caitlin Clark jeans.
So you said that. Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No, I swear to God.
You took those bedazzled jeans and cut them?
Sugar-free Red Bull, vodka, and light cranberry juice is what that is. That's a Senator.
It's called a Senator?
Yeah, so when you go over to my buddy Jack Whitver's house, he always serves those up to you. That's his drink, so I call him the Senator because of that.
Ah, well, it's less about the drink and more about the jorts. What's going on here?
Why, I mean, why not? Like, I enjoy wearing jean shorts, and it was a Sunday afternoon. Kids were, raising hell in the backyard.
You're on the tee, man.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of compliments on them. Walking the dog, neighbor be like, "Hey, nice shorts, man."
Yeah, because they're making fun of you.
Just look like the face of anyone who cares. I'm 40
you
years
do.
old. Like, I have nothing. I have no one to impress here.
I think that you are hurt. I saw you on group chats and deep into comments last night. I saw one comment you made that really touched my heart. You said, "Guy gets into the best shape of his life, and all people do is make fun of him."
It's true.
You poor guy.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't feel bad for me. No, I don't. But I did like those pants because they're stretchy. They're the stretchy jeans. Do you have any of the stretchy jeans?
I don't
Matt,
wear jeans.
Do you have any stretchy
anymore.
jeans that like they're elastic?
In the waist, you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
I
think almost all of mine are elastic.
Yeah, they're perfect. I didn't want to throw them out, and I can't wear them anymore.
Jeans have come a long way. They are a lot more comfortable now, but I don't wear them anymore. All I wear is my my Travis Matthew dress pants. I've got them in like 5 different colors.
Good comment here in the chat by Harry. He says Stone Cold wore jean shorts, so that makes them badass. I agree.
Well, that was also 20 years ago when jean shorts were in style. Those are really the same pants?
Swear to God, same pants. Yep. You can do a zoom in. You can see rips in the same spot.
What did you do with the bottom part?
Just threw them away.
Wow, we could have auctioned those bedazzled jeans off. These are the jeans that Chris Williams wore as he was airballing logo threes with Caitlin Clark.
Put Iowa everywhere on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did. I think you go on YouTube and you click on like the most popular videos. I'm pretty sure that video has like 30 times more views than any other video we've ever done. And that's the outfit you wore.
What would you have worn if you were me?
Not jorts. I don't own any jorts anymore. In fact, I think it was when I went to Des Moines out of college that it wasn't right away because Andy wasn't there. But as soon as Andy came back from Kansas City, it was probably 2008, I was wearing my jorts, my Tommy Hilfiger jorts. And he made fun of me so mercilessly that I immediately got rid of them. Never wore them again.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear these shorts out of spite from now on. That's what I'm gonna do. These are gonna become like Matt next T-ball game. That's what I'm wearing with my coaching shirt.
Please don't.
I'm leaning into it now.
You really do with the skinny jorts look that you had in your whole like NASCAR package that you had on top. You had like a NASCAR hat and a NASCAR shirt.
No, that was just an American flag hat, but whatever.
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
That's a NASCAR shirt. That's my Chase Elliott t-shirt. Yep.
You really do. You look like you're auditioning for a sequel to Brokeback Mountain that involves gay NASCAR fans.
So that Brokeback Mountain, I haven't seen it, right? So it's these cowboys who make love to each other in tents. Is that
in the mountains? Yeah. Now I haven't seen it either, but not that there's anything wrong with it.
No, of course not.
But I know what it's about.
Matt, have you seen it? It seems like a movie you'd watch.
This picture looks more like an Ozempic ad for a NASCAR fan.
Look at me. I used to be a fat ass airball and threes from the logo with jeans. Now I can wear skinny jorts.
All right. Anyways, get to Iowa baseball. Can't wait to talk about that.
Oh my God. No.
Honestly, this is one of those days where there's just not a ton of like hot sports topics, so you're gonna get Chris and Chris all over the place today. But I think that most of you don't care here on your Memorial Day. I am looking at local stuff, and there's just the Iowa baseball thing. I spent a bunch of my weekend at the state track meet, which was cool. We're gonna get to that. I have a few notes from that. Where do you want to start, my friend?
I mean, since you mentioned the Iowa baseball, let's just get it out of the way. Just an epic.
So that's
collapse.
over with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What fascinated me more than just their failure to win the Big Ten at the end of the year, the collapse they had, and then their loss in the semis, and they're not going to go to the NCAA tournament, was the fact that they clinched a spot in the semis on like Thursday. But then they had another game, a Big Ten tournament game on Friday that was completely meaningless. It did not matter to either team. Like, what are we doing?
Is that because these leagues have gotten so big? Is that one of those things?
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. But shouldn't we be doing the opposite at this point? Like, why are we adding a meaningless game in the middle of the tournament? I mean, think of Iowa State basketball down in Kansas City clinching a spot in the Big 12 championship game and then playing a game in the middle that doesn't mean anything.
Did they play like guys that matter, or did they just sit them all?
Well, they said, look, I'm not going to pretend like
neither am I, because I
watched
care
the game
about college baseball. Like,
but
I genuinely do. If the Cox make it to Omaha, I'll watch. That's about it.
Fails said on Murph and Andy, I think Andrew asked a throwdowns question a couple weeks ago when they looked like they were going to win the Big Ten championship. And he said, when will you start to pay attention to Iowa baseball? And Keith said something like, yeah, you know how he is. Well, I already am. I'm paying attention every game.
Sold out crowd. Yeah.
Andy said he wouldn't pay attention until they were in the last game of the College World Series to win the whole thing. And look, it was a good story for a while. It's just I don't college baseball. There's just things about it I don't get, and that's one of them. You
I would
can't
rather
be
watch
playing a
softball.
Friday game at the tournament that's meaningless. It's come on.
I don't think anybody on our network did this, but so we'll put those clips up, and it doesn't always give all the context because it's short.
Yeah.
I completely got taken out of context by a lot of these people on TikTok.
Was it when you said that you wanted them to scrap the baseball team?
Correct.
Iowa scrap the baseball team?
I didn't. I want to clarify that. I'm not saying they should. What I'm saying is what they are up against financially against their Big Ten rivals in football and men's basketball going forward. Should it be a conversation down the road to save money and put it towards the ones people care about? That's all I'm saying.
I think it's going to be a conversation, and not too far down the road. I mean, that's a real conversation that I was going to have.
And a lot of schools are going to have like wrestling programs. Like this is going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Baseball's just really expensive because of all the travel. Mm-hmm. That was the I wasn't singling out. I'm just saying this is going to be a thing. I don't know if it will be at Iowa. Like there's going to be, but this is the problem with the world we live in right now in college athletics is it is so catered to football and men's basketball that everything else is kind of just collateral.
Because there's no way that even if Iowa can be an NCAA tournament team year in and year out, you can't turn a profit.
No.
For a college baseball team at Iowa. You just can't.
And again, I'm really not being like hateful or a jerk here. It's an honest conversation. I think like Iowa has some baseball fans. Like there's no doubt about it. Like there are
Hot
people
Sprague 33 in the comments right now. He said the attendance this year was impressive. I'd love for a consistently good Iowa baseball team just for rooting interest in the summers.
Absolutely. Like that's real. But even if like they sell out every game, they're not even coming close to being profitable. I would guess. I don't.
Yeah, there's no way.
I have like the numbers in front of me.
There's just no way. Not with that many players on the team and that kind of travel that they do. It's not possible.
So anyways, I wanted to clarify that because, of course, like these people, they'll be like, Iowa State doesn't even have a baseball team. I don't want them to at this point. Like, there's no point for them to play baseball. They'd just get killed. Yeah. Nobody would go to the games. Y'all would just bitch because they suck. What's the point? It does no benefit for you. It doesn't help you with Title IX. It hurts you. Like,
big time. How many players are on a college baseball team? 25?
I'd rather just put all that money into women's basketball, wrestling, like the sports that people like go to. So, anyways, that's my point. I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
Boy, you're kind of down today.
I'm not down. I'm great.
I don't know, man.
3-day weekend. I do got a little congestion thing going on. I don't like it. Not a huge fan.
Yeah, your eyes kind of all puffed up.
Yeah, I didn't sleep very well. I got the whole congestion thing going on. But hey, we're going to fight through it.
Look at you, fighting through on Memorial Day while everyone else takes the day off.
Matt, serious topic here. We were texting about this last night. And will you read to us like the actual definition of Memorial Day? Because people kind of like get it confused. There's Veterans Day.
Well, I can tell you what it is.
This is a series like.
No, it honors people in the military who died either in service or in combat. That's what Memorial Day is.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Yes. It is a federal holiday in the United States honoring and mourning the U.S. military personnel who died while serving in the United States Armed Forces.
And you are not supposed to say Happy Memorial Day.
Correct, because there's nothing happy about it. It's a somber holiday. If y'all want to do a special little road trip, that veteran cemetery in Van Meter is incredible. You guys ever been out there?
No.
Oh, my Uncle Tom is buried out there. It's incredible. Really cool. I mean, it like you roll in there and it's just goosebumps every time I do it.
Is it like one of the few cemeteries like that in Iowa?
I think it might be the only one.
Huh.
Yeah. So like if you're
Des Moines might have one, I believe, near the airport. But the other thing too that's cool in Iowa is we got these like the Freedom Rocks around all these counties. I think all 99
That guy's
counties.
awesome, by the way. I've interviewed him before.
Yeah, we have one in here. Yeah.
So wanted to clarify that because you should take the kids out there and do that, Matt. Go find my Uncle Tom. It's a really special cemetery, and it's you want to talk about like somber. You go out there and you see like every time I go out there, you see like buddies having a beer at their buddy's grave who they served with. Like, it's really powerful when you go out there. So wanted to get to that. Okay. I want to go long real quick on something. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
The reason we call it going long, by the way, is you talk to the guys over there at Wealth Charter because this is the long-term play. We're not doing like stock trading with our friends at Wealth Charter. So we're going long on a topic, right? It all adds up, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys are going to make you rich over at Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. I'm going long, and I don't expect you guys to have watched this last night. This is less about NASCAR and more about the future of sports media. Amazon Prime has a package now with NASCAR. So they get like a chunk of races throughout the summer. I've watched thousands of NASCAR races in my life. I think it was the best broadcast I've ever seen. Like just pure.
For that Coca-Cola 600 last night?
Yeah.
I did not see any of it. But you're telling me it was only on Prime?
Yeah, only on Prime.
Okay.
I think the presentation, I think the announcing, I think the camera work, I think you add it all up. Pre-race, post-race, I think it was the best product I've ever seen. And I think it's really interesting because what you're seeing here, you know, like Netflix is messing around. They've got like WWE, Prime, like they're all like dipping their toes in the NFL. We're going to do like 2 games on Christmas, whatever. But these dogs at like Amazon and Apple, like they have so much money. It was just a really good point to me that if they ever want to just take over these sports rights, they're going to be able to do that. Because it used to be, Chris, like, and you know this much better than I do, Yeah, they can pull it off, but the problem was like the actual like shooting of it, right, and the production of it, and you got to get a truck there, and like these streaming companies didn't have any of that infrastructure.
Mm-hmm. You got to get the talent. Yeah, a lot of times it would be easier for them just to lease out talent from a major network to do their production, but
it was an amazing
starting to sign
product.
some
like,
big,
I was blown away. And I've seen a lot of NASCAR fans because we are an old school fan base, which shouldn't surprise you, and they were pissed to have to get Prime. Many of them were, I don't want to have to sign up for. I think it turned the heads of a lot of people, just the production value. So I'm going long on my streamers.
So are a bunch of races moving forward going to be on Prime as well, or is it just a one-off, just that one?
No, there's like a 6-race stretch during the summer that they bought.
Look,
and this year they have the qualifying and like practice all year. So like they've been dipping their toes into it. This is their first actual races.
See, we got the graphic here of the network partners: Prime, Fox, TNT,
which is
NBC.
A little annoying. Do you really need 4?
This
partners?
is the problem. Like I maybe these streaming networks will come over the top and eventually take everything, but I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is that these leagues will continue to diversify and make it as hard as possible for the consumer to find them on one specific platform. I mean, it's just, it sucks when you have to keep going back and forth, and there's no easy way to go from Prime to NBC if you're looking to watch 2 things at once, 2 games at once. That's the problem a lot of Big 12 fans have, going from ESPN Plus on a Saturday afternoon to CBS for another game you want to watch.
I really enjoy the Thursday night football on Amazon too. They do a really nice job with that production, just the quality of it, and they give you those like next gen stats or whatever through Amazon.
I love the visuals, Matt. I mean, that's where you really thrive. But I feel like Prime does it better. Like I'm comparing it to Fox Sports, and like the Fox Sports NASCAR. I feel like I'm in 1995 watching Darrell Waltrip, and like I feel like it hasn't changed over 20 years. And then you go to the Prime, and it's just like, it's almost like the cameras are even better. I can't even explain it. Maybe they are. I don't know, but
they might be. And the, however it comes across resolution wise. Clay says though that his dad didn't watch. He was protesting it being on Prime. Problem is, that's not going to do anything.
No.
Not going to change it.
No, but I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of old school NASCAR fans who did that. All right, should we jump into Triple B? Kelderman Manufacturing.
Bigger, better, bolder. Built by Kelderman Manufacturing.
What did Keldy Boy? Did he win something over the weekend? What was that?
In that motorcycle deal. He has that Joe Dirt motorcycle now.
But then he had like a guitar in his hand. He just sent a picture of himself with a guitar, and it was almost like he won something. And everyone in the chat loved it, put a big heart on it, and I had no idea what the hell it was. What was it?
He was at some motorcycle show. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to let us know.
So you didn't even know? You just hearted it?
Yeah, well, it looked cool.
I thought he won some major award.
I think he was just at like some car show for motorcycles. And so for people who don't know, Kelderman created a motorcycle because that's what they do down in Oski. They do all this crazy shit to your trucks and, all that stuff. And they created a Joe Dirt car motorcycle.
How can one guy have such an intense fetish for one movie?
Well, I mean, he's clearly got some sort of a deep connection to Joseph Dierte.
Joe Dirt. Yeah, I saw the motorcycle, and...
What's your favorite movie? If you had to watch one movie the rest of your life.
Boy.
Kelderman's would be Joe Dirt. Mine would be Days of Thunder.
Matt's would be Brokeback Mountain. Van Wook would eat that shit up. I don't know. I'm not like that with movies. I don't like watching movies over and over again like I like watching Seinfeld over and over again.
Yeah,
like I could watch Seinfeld on a loop for the rest of my life. I don't have a connection like that with a movie.
I like that with Seinfeld, too, because it's like background noise and it entertains you, but you don't have to think at all.
Mm-hmm.
You can do anything with it. This is so funny. You see this comment from Mike?
Yeah. He says, Iowa Everywhere should start a show called Group Chat since that's the source of so much content.
We're actually working on that.
That's true. In the group chat recently, you said that we are looking to do something like that, which is scary, but could be good.
Yeah.
Van Wook, that's the Joe Dirt motorcycle that.
That's it.
Congrats to Jeff Kelderman on winning the Spirit of the Chip Award. So he must have. So I don't know, Spirit of the Chip. So I guess that's why he won that guitar. I knew he won something. And then I asked him when the hell he's going to get around to douching up your truck, and he said your truck is too puny for him.
Yeah, I got to get a bigger one.
It's not big enough. He said it's only a half ton. You need a 3/4 ton.
Yeah. I'm going to raise it.
All right, so who you going with your Triple B?
Well, I'm going with Ronald Acuna.
Wow,
look at this! Are you kidding me? He is back!
First pitch, first at-bat, back from his very serious injury that had him out over a year.
Listen to that crack. Ready?
Look at that.
Oh, wait. I have to turn the sound up.
Oh. Matt and I were coaching the Mini Turtles when that happened on Friday, and my phone just starts blowing up in my pocket. And the sucky thing is they lost the game, but that was an amazing moment.
Good for him. What was the injury?
Well, he's had two. This was a knee.
Jeez.
Yeah, this was a knee. He's blown out both knees in the last like 4 years. It's crazy. But he's still arguably the best player in the world behind a couple guys like Ohtani and maybe Trout. But like he's an incredible talent, and the guy's just electric. He's one of the few baseball players that you want to. Would you agree with this, Matt? You're a bigger baseball fan than me. Like when Acuna's up, he's the guy who's like, yeah, I'll stop and watch this at bat.
He's one of those guys that just has that power that he could hit one out at any time. He's like a Judge level. I mean, maybe not quite Judge, but he's got that flash for sure. Yeah, fun player.
And he's
glad
got
to have him back.
Yeah, he has the like swagger and all that stuff.
The aura, as they call it. The aura.
But what a moment. Everybody's been waiting for you. You come back, the first pitch.
Yeah.
Incredible. Just
and
an
at home,
incredible
too,
scene.
which made it much better. I'm going to go with the insane comebacks that keep happening in the NBA playoffs and mostly involving the Knicks and the Pacers. Whether it was in the series they were playing before they played each other or this series in particular. Another one last night looked like the Pacers were going to take a 3-0 lead. They're at home. They're cruising. They're up 20. And the Knicks come back, win the game, and get right back in the series. It's nuts. Between these two teams, 5 20-point comebacks this postseason. The Knicks have 3. The Pacers have 2. That's the most all time. And they've done it all in one postseason. And they're still not done playing.
This game was on during the race last night, so it was kind of background for me. But Bloom had told me, because I gave him my NASCAR bets, and he's like, bet on the Knicks. He's like, you need to bet the Knicks. The league needs the Knicks for TV purposes, all this stuff. Like, it's just a good bet. And I was like, okay, and I just listened to him. And he actually texts me or whatever and says, man, really sorry about the Knicks play. And I just thought the game was over, and I didn't even pay attention to it. And then I'm flipping through my phone before I go to bed last night, and I realized the Knicks had come back and won. That's how, like, crazy this one was.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened to me, and it's happened to me several times this postseason. Is I won't turn on a game because it's a total blowout. It's either a 20-point game in the third quarter, or it's a 9-point game with 50 seconds to go, and I'll roll over, go to bed. Wake up the next morning. What in the hell? What in the hell? Because I'm on X, and there's people in there like Van Wilk basically celebrating a Pacers win, Halliburton again, and this might cost them the series.
Mm-hmm. Think about
Jesus.
Well, they're guaranteed to come back to Indiana, right, for at least a game now, because they can't. It's 2-1 because they're gonna go 1-1-1, right? It's 2-2, 1-1-1.
Yeah. So they got one more. But,
I guess
but
Indiana
the Pacers
could
could win
still
Game
win.
4 and
That's
Game
right.
5,
That's
and the
true.
series will be over.
You're right. Yeah.
You ever think about how wild it is that I don't know if this is that. Tell me if Purdy fits into this. Halliburton and Clark certainly do. But just like, do we ever appreciate the fact that like maybe 3 of the 5 like most recognizable sports figures in the country are Iowa and Iowa State people right now?
Yeah, I mean, between Clark and Halliburton, and it's crazy because they're doing it for Indiana sports franchises who are often forgotten. Clark is the most influential athlete in the world right now. And I would say the way these playoffs have gone, Halliburton is the biggest star in the NBA postseason.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I'm not putting Purdy in that conversation right now.
Well, he was top of mind in the last like 10 days.
Because of the contract? Sure.
Yeah, Halliburton wearing Purdy jerseys. Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Speaking of that,
Clark
did you guys see
watching.
the really cool thing that George Kittle did last week? It was pretty awesome. There was this janitor.
Oh, yeah.
I know where you're going.
There was this janitor. He's 79-year-old janitor who worked at Kittle's old high school. And Kittle showed up and basically like made this guy's day. This 70 gave him like a huge check so the guy could retire. So he didn't like Kittle's just going to fund his entire thing.
Was this the AI post where in one picture the janitor was white and then in another picture the janitor was black?
And he had 6 fingers in one.
And sure enough, family members are sharing it, liking it.
Niners Central was first to report.
Did Mahoney fall for that one too? Cyclone Fanatics Grant Mahoney has been known to fall for an AI post or two.
This one cracked me up. I hope Matt can find it.
What, the Kittle one?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the one. But there was
AI
one
Kittle's like crying, holding this janitor. It's so freaking funny. These things are just completely out of control. That's like, Purdy is like, there it is. Yeah. Look at the top right photo.
So, Mr.
John.
So this isn't the one where the janitor goes from white to black, but John definitely is a different person in the other photo.
Caitlin Clark janitor one.
That was a Caitlin Clark janitor. Yeah. Okay, everybody's helping janitors out these days. But it says there's this like fake check, and it says pay to the order of Mr. John.
But and there's no money made out on the check.
No. God damn it.
The best part of these.
Here's the one.
Oh yeah, he's totally different skin tones.
Yeah, Clark. At first, she's helping a
Williams.
Mr. Williams.
Yeah.
His name is a black janitor, and then in the other one, Caitlin Clark looks like she's been into the meth for 3 or 4 years at least, so she's a little bit more run
looks
down.
like a Hillary Swank and $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, she does, helping an old white man. God.
And it's always the same woman in the background just smiling.
Yeah, it's true. Good find, Matt. Good find. We still need Matt's Triple B, though.
I did not go to state track this week, but I know Williams was there watching his kin, right? Next of kin.
Yeah, the old my blood was running.
That's awesome.
It was awesome, by the way. Electric. Yeah. This kid that you're going to give props to, electric on Saturday.
So Quentin Nauman from Western Dubuque just had himself a weekend. So he set the all-out state record for the 800-meter and 1,600-meter, which the 1,600-meter was the one that caught a lot of attention. It got the first sub 4-minute 1,600-meter, which I guess isn't technically a mile, is what I was reading from Mike
No.
J.
Do you know how many meters is in a mile? I do.
How many?
1,609.
Yeah, there's like 9.
So he would need to go 9 more meters.
9.3, actually.
Yes, he would need to go 9 more meters in less than a half of a second. That wouldn't have happened. So it wouldn't have been a sub 4 mile, but...
So here's him winning the 1,600 meters, setting the state all out. So this would be college and high school all out?
So what he did...
just be high school, Chris.
What he did was he's the first prep, I believe, in history to have a sub 4 and a sub 150 800 in the same track meet, and he did it in the same day.
That's the most impressive thing to me.
Yeah.
Is that, didn't he run the 800 first?
Yeah, the 800 was in the morning, because mine, yeah.
To do 2 in one day.
It was
insane.
Wild. And then, so he actually, there's this other kid who's one of the freaking goats who was pacing him, and about 200 to go, Nauman just freaking turned on the jets and just ran away from this.
Did you get to see this happen live?
I was watching it, yeah. It was incredible.
Nice.
Screaming. And then, yeah, the whole state track meet is really, really great. That's where I was sitting on Friday. It was perfect weather. It was a really, really good show. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of there's my Clarinda girls right there. That's my niece on the far left.
Far left, Williams' niece, part of a what? Did they won?
Their relay got 4th. Their 4x2 got 4th.
That's still really impressive.
What the hell are they doing with medals?
What?
What are they doing with medals if they got 4th?
I think the top 6 medal.
Oh my God! What?
Yeah.
Good
what
for
the
them.
hell's
Might even
going
be
on?
Top 8.
Oh,
I think.
they all should get medals. I love that.
Oh, of course you'd say that.
I
Dan
do
Wolf.
think everybody who goes to state gets a medal, like a state participation.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? That's fine. You go to state, you get your medal for going to state. You shouldn't be getting anything more for a top 6 finish. Jesus.
Well, you can argue that all you want. Matt, I sent you and Brenda deal about that gal from Clear Lake.
Yeah, I have that. Hang on.
This girl on Friday was absolutely electric. And by the way, the Nauman kid who we just watched is going to Oregon.
Oh, cool.
He's going to the top program.
He's only a junior though.
Look at this gal from Clear Lake. They read her. I want to find her name if I can. I should have prepared more for it. I apologize. So I'll
Reese
give you
Brownlee.
Yes, Brownlee. What a freaking stud. They read. So you know when they start the race, they read your credentials. They went on for like a minute with all the state championships and Drake Relay championships that this girl has won. She is one of the best athletes that look at that. The long jump. She is one of the best athletes we have ever produced in the state of Iowa. Like, if you just go by what she has done, she was absolutely incredible.
Matt says she's going to K-State to run track. Matt Graham in the comments.
Yeah, she is. See, that's what I love about state track, and I haven't been to state track in 20 years. So, I'm not like this huge fan, but it was like you pick up on all these elite level athletes, but I did have a problem with it. Okay,
What?
So, because Mike Williams, it's like if he's going to be, we're going to get the best seat. Yeah. So
Your dad went with you?
Yeah, my dad was there on Friday. Yep. And he had like the best seat in the house for us, right at the start finish. Like we're ready to go. Well, so these kids are all lined up, like, oh, we're starting the 400 hurdles or the 400-meter dash or whatever, right? And they're in their blocks. And do you understand if you jump the start, you're just done, right? Like there's no second chance.
Oh, there's not?
No.
It's not like the Olympics? In the Olympics, I thought that that you get another chance, but is that not
no
the case?
Second chances here. No
second chances. Okay.
So what these idiots keep doing, like, so these kids are getting ready to start their race.
Yeah.
And all these morons start slow clapping for the high jump pit. And I saw probably 10 kids jump the start. And I can't prove it, but I think these slow claps were distracting them.
Really?
Yeah, because the high jump pit is right there in turn 1. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And it's right where they're starting these relays and
they overlap. Like they don't adjust their schedule based on what kind of track is going on.
This high jump's going on all day because it's like, oh, we got the 1A girls high jump, we got the 2A boys high jump, right? And these idiots keep doing the slow clap, and it bothered me. Like it was driving me crazy. I wanted to go and wring their necks. Stop slow clapping.
Why is it that the high jumpers are the only ones that need that slow clap ramp up? The pole vaulters?
We don't pole vault in Iowa. It's too dangerous.
And the high jumpers. But I've noticed it at other Drake track events that sometimes they get the slow claps going for the pole vaulters too, like the professional ones.
Well, and it's kind of demoralizing too because like this one kid was trying to get his like record or whatever. And it was like I don't know what he was trying to jump, but it was really high. And the whole place kind of like, and I'm part of the slow clap this time.
What?
There wasn't anything else going on. We're all watching
so
this
you
kid.
were making sure that you weren't going to cause anybody to crash out. Okay.
Correct. And this kid just literally just jumps right into the stick. And it was demoralizing because the whole place was slow clapping for him, and he didn't even come close. And I think we got into his head.
With the claps?
Yeah, I'm very anti-slow clap. I've learned after the weekend. Like we need to stop it with the slow clap at these track events. I swear to God, it caused like 10 of these kids to jump the start, and then their entire meet is over.
I think you might be onto something. That doesn't seem right to me.
Do you think they should get a second chance? This was a hot topic in our
man. Once you start allowing a second chance, though, then you're going to have people that try to jump it perfect because they know they have another one. It's kind of like a tennis serve. You know, your first time, you could just go balls Marie. But you miss that, then you got to dial it back a little bit.
Well, where does it stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if 3 people jump the start in the same race?
Right.
And then it's completely taken away from the rhythm.
I don't like that that the events in the middle kind of overlap with the events on the outside. And I don't like that. I wish there was a way they could spread things out where that couldn't happen, where you couldn't start a race as someone is getting ready to do the high jump, but I know that's probably impossible.
I think our friends at Freedom Tire. Do you mind if I do that?
Yeah, but I want to make sure we get to. If I could choose one thing on the rundown, it would be the
anything
Josh
you
Pate.
Want. Huh?
The Josh Pate topic.
Let's go.
Okay.
After I thank our friends from Freedom Tire.
Yeah. Yes.
Those kids are all getting out of school. You're going to be going on road trips.
Yeah, isn't school over with already in Iowa?
Not my kids. We still got a week.
I think it's over for most people.
Some people are. The preschool kids are done. We know that.
Well, they've already graduated.
Here's a public service announcement. Don't forget to rotate your tires.
Yes.
You always get your oil change done. Make sure you get the rotation done. I think every, 5,000 miles, they say?
Oh, yeah. You should just rotate it every time you get an oil change, in my opinion. In my opinion. Freedom Tire. Locations all over the Des Moines Metro. This will get that one up in Ames. Also want to thank our friends over at Game Day Men's Health, of course. Buddies over in Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty. There's freaking Game Day Men's Health popping up all over the country.
My mom's visiting, I mentioned, and she said, why? She's jealous. It's like, why do we have this game day for men's health? Like, why can't there be something for women as well?
Well, I actually think they're working on that.
Oh.
From what I've been told.
Could be big. It's an untapped market. Half the country is women.
Is it actually half? Like, what? I've never done the research. Is it 50-50? Like, there's exactly the same amount of men and women?
I think there's a few more women than men.
Good. I like our chances. Matt, what's going on at the Iowa Event Center? I know we got our big West Coast hip-hop tour.
They got Shane Gillis coming this Saturday.
Yes.
Early onset Republican.
That's right.
One of my favorite ads.
There's very limited seating for this. I know there's some singles down low, but there's a few together up top. But this is their highest selling comedy show ever, which is cool.
I'd go to that.
Saturday night in Des Moines. Like, can't beat that. They have a couple comedians coming. They have Matt Rife coming the week after. It's a Sunday.
He's funny.
He's really funny. He's like he kind of blew up on like TikTok, kind of the younger social media influencer type guy. So he's really funny too. And this is like a traditional stage. Sometimes the comedians, they'll put them in the middle, in the round. This one's a more traditional stage. So, but still, I think there's still a few tickets for this left too. But it's getting close to sold out.
He's the guy. Matt Rife is the guy that really talks to the audience. And
yes, he does a lot of crowd work. Yes. That's kind of his thing, it'll be interesting at an arena. I know I've seen a lot of clips from him doing.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell you do that at an arena like that.
So, yeah, his last special, I guess, was like all crowd work, which is really really interesting. But I honestly, I was talking to Adam Flack about this. I feel like that really sets comedians apart if they can just go on their feet and do crowd work like that and still be really funny. Like, that tells you he's a really true comedian.
You ever watch one of those shows where the guy, he feels like there's like a spirit talking to him?
What?
You ever seen those shows?
No.
And then it's like,
You've gotten in some weird rabbit holes with comedians and ghosts, it sounds like.
Well, no, you said thinking on your feet. These guys, they're all frauds.
Like a mentalist you talking about?
Yeah, they'll be like, does anyone have a grandma named Sheila?
Yeah.
In fact, my mom went to one of those.
row.
My mom went to one of those like 10 years ago. I can't remember what the person's name was.
Get her on the show. Give us a review.
I found the number. Approximately 50.49% of the U.S. population is female.
Okay. That's a pretty good 50-50, though. Like,
I mean, wouldn't you expect that, though?
I don't know.
Spencer says
over
over
at
Game Day they should have his and hers, E shots and T shots.
Well, they're working on it.
Okay.
So I'm on the Game Day website right now, and they do have a section for female hormone. How to reset female hormones for weight loss. So
reset female hormones, that's not part of the transitioning process, is it?
No.
Are they helping people transition? Look at that guy.
He looks happy.
How to reset female hormones. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So check it out.
But I guess they do some female stuff. Okay.
There you go. Look at that lady. All right, let's do this Pate thing. What do we got going on?
Matt's got a clip. This is Josh Pate on his show, the Josh Pate College Football Show. Had a take that went viral over the weekend. A lot of people with a lot of takes on this. Just take a listen to what he says about the current state of college football.
Ohio State. Let's say Michigan's in town. And let's say it's midway through the third quarter and they're deadlocked at 17 and it's 4th and 1 on your own 38-yard line and they're opting to go for it. Clock's ticking down, huddle breaks, 5, 4, 3, crowd's at full throat. Just pause right there. Is anybody thinking about whether Ohio State had OTA workouts? Is anybody thinking about how much the left tackle's making? You're not. So the point is, the game hasn't really been ruined at all. If that moment feels different, if that moment is ruined, then college football has ruined itself. Does Saturday still feel like Saturday in the fall? Because that's really the great barometer. So my answer is yes, Saturday still feels like Saturday. I think college football is extremely resilient. Like, it is extremely strong. It's the redwood. You could chop a redwood down, but you don't do it with 5 or 10 swings. It'd take a lot to chop down a redwood, all concentrated, all at one spot on that tree. And don't do it because you'll get arrested. But point being, it takes a lot to ruin college football. That's a byproduct of how great it is.
Okay, so in a nutshell, his take is, when anyone claims that college football is ruined, he says, do fall Saturdays still feel the same? And I will say a large part of it does, but some of it doesn't. Like, he referenced if Michigan's in town. Yeah, well, what if you're on the road at Rutgers? At Maryland, you're playing a game at UCLA. Like that's what Iowa is dealing with right now.
Yeah.
For Iowa State, it's Cincinnati's in town, right? Like, it's not every week isn't Michigan and Ohio State. And sure, yeah, if Ohio State's at Kinnick and it's a 4th and 1 in the places, but that rarely happens. When's Ohio State coming to Kinnick?
Yeah, it's like once every 8 years or whatever.
Right. So, and that that problem is the realignment issue. And I think the realignment thing has done way more harm for my just everyday college football game day experience than, say, the NIL, for instance. I don't think the NIL has that big of an impact on me on game day. Not really thinking about that during the game. Not as much as I am if they're playing a team like Maryland or Rutgers. It just doesn't make sense. Or Iowa State's playing Arizona, and it's a conference game. What do you think? Because I'm not out here saying college football is ruined.
No,
I'm not going to make that argument. But it is certainly different. Like he referenced, taking chunks out of a huge sequoia tree or whatever. Some chunks have been taken out of it. I mean, the thing's not going to topple, but it's not the same.
For me, Dan Wetzel, now with ESPN, he wrote Death to the BCS. In my opinion, one of the best sports books of all time. He's described it as this in his columns, and I think it's perfect that college football is a symphony, and it takes all, if a symphony doesn't have percussion, then it sounds weird. If they don't have a horn section, it sounds weird. Like, you need all the different sections to make a true symphony. And my whole thing is if we're going it more and more, it feels like every year we're going down a road where we're just eliminating the woodwind section. I need the Sun Belt and the MAC and the to me, without the Pac-12 after dark, it doesn't feel the same. To me, that was sure, there's still games that are late, but we just got rid of perhaps the most historic conference in the history of college athletics, one of, just out of greed and nothing more. So, is it ruined? Absolutely not, but it does feel different.
Completely. And it's only going to feel even more different moving forward. I mean, we have so many things that
what we can't have is you can't have a world where the Big 12 or the ACC or the Mountain West have no chance to compete at the highest level.
That's where we're heading. Starting next year, I really do. All of the the reporters now are saying that this is probably going to happen because the Big Ten and the SEC have all the power. The Big Ten and the SEC are going to get 4 automatic qualifiers each. The Big 12 and the ACC are only going to get 2. And the Big Ten and the SEC are going to get even more than 4 because they're going to do that play-in thing where 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5. And if you've got an upset there, then you're going to get another team in. And it's not going to ruin the sport completely, but it's going to set us down a path where it's not going to be recognizable.
And I think if you're, some of the schools that Josh mentioned, you probably don't feel like it feels any different.
Yeah. I mean, if you're at Alabama, for instance, it probably doesn't feel that much different. Hell, you have Texas coming in too. But let's say Iowa State. You're not playing Texas and Oklahoma anymore.
No. And the Big 8 thing, like you're referencing, like playing like Maryland, like it doesn't feel the same to me getting ready for the Cincinnati game as it would Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Or, like West Virginia, I guess, has been there long enough where they do kind of feel like, I want to say a rival, but they feel like they kind of belong. But like, I mean, I long for the old Big 8 games where it's just when I was in college, we could travel to every game other than Lubbock and Waco, pretty much. It's like if we wanted to get in the car and do a road trip, we could go to about every Iowa State game when we were in college. Nebraska, Stillwater, right? Like all these places. And now it's just like, shit, like you better pick 1 or 2. Whatever Kansas team you're playing, maybe Stillwater, but the rest of them, it's like you got to get in a plane. It's just so different.
It's so the Trump thing's dead. Did you see that? That's done with.
I did see that. Yeah.
You know why? Because the Big Ten and the SEC said, no, you don't. We are controlling things, not you, not anybody else. So this is not good for.
It's not good for the
Big 12.
No.
It's not good for the sport as a whole. And there was a article, I believe it was from The Athletic, that I was reading last night. And man, it's pretty disturbing how little the Big Ten and the SEC care about the actual sport. I think it was Stuart Mandel who tweeted it out, that basically this is all going to happen because the Big Ten commissioner, Petitti, has had this grand plan to have this play-in conference championship weekend, and that's why he needs it to be 4 automatic qualifiers. And the Big 12 is not going to get 3. You're going to have half. You're going to have 2. So last year, like Iowa at 8-4 without a single ranked win, would have been 1 win away from going to the college football playoff. As an Iowa fan, okay, cool. What that it's nice to have a path, but not at the expense of the sport. It's not just about the Big Ten and the SEC.
We're too selfish. All of us are. I appreciate this. Is why I appreciate you as an Iowa fan. There's just not many guys like you who will put the sport above like the good of their team.
Especially if you're somebody like a commissioner and your bottom line, your money and all of that is going to go way up if you do it the other way.
The obvious comp here is what happened with European soccer, where they were going to break off and do their own thing. And then all of those Manchester United fans, and like they're like, absolutely not. Like what makes this great is having these small clubs and the relegation and all. Like it makes us all stronger. Like we're too selfish in the United States to do that.
In this new playoff that we'll get next year, this 16-team format, I think it was Mandel's article, and he laid it out pretty good. Like, the Big Ten and the SEC are arguing that, history shows that we are the better conference. We deserve more spots, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's exactly why it shouldn't be an automatic qualifying process. Because if you are that good, you will earn spots in.
Absolutely.
You don't need these automatic spots. It should be the top 16 teams, period.
What's maddening to me, too, is that they already have every advantage. Like, you already make more money.
Exactly.
You have more fans. Like, why do you need more advantages?
You know what else is going to happen is once we start guaranteeing the top 4 teams in the Big Ten and the SEC in the conference standings get automatic bids to the playoff, what happens to these non-conference games? Why does Iowa versus Iowa State matter at all? If it's going to have no bearing on whether or not you go to the playoff.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't know how that game's happening in 10 years.
I don't either.
Unless it's like a state law.
Yeah, I don't either. It's sad, but if we keep going this way, I also don't think we'll see Ohio State versus Alabama in the non-con. Like, what's the point? The non-con will just turn into 3 bye games where you have crap MAC teams come in.
Or it'll be like the Big Ten and the SEC are going to play each other.
But I don't think they would.
Well, they might for money is the only thing.
But what's in it for the fan?
None of this is
if it doesn't have any impact on going to the playoff. It might have an impact on your seed, but not getting in. If it's just the top 4 teams in your conference are in, boom. And if you're in the top 6, in your conference, you have a chance to play your way in on championship weekend.
And
the 6th place team, Williams, the 6th place team could be 3 games worse than the 4th place team.
And think about, like, if you have an easy schedule that year.
Oh, God. Yeah, with how big these conferences are.
I mean, like, I think they proved themselves, but, like, Indiana had that last year. Didn't really beat anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought that they represented. Like, I didn't have any problem with them making
there were
the
people
playoff.
saying they shouldn't be in. What were they, 11-1?
Yeah.
If they were 10-2, they wouldn't have gotten in.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could say that about Iowa State last year. They had a pretty favorable schedule.
Yeah.
You know, like, considering, like, what some other big – and this year's going to be a lot tougher. Like, it just ebbs and flows, and that's the problem you're making with the standings of these conferences. It's like you have no idea.
And Spencer brings up another good point. If you have a top 4 team in conference with automatic qualifying and all that, and you're in a great spot with 2 weeks to go, you're sitting your guys. Like, what does it matter? You're if you're already in, if you've already clinched. I mean, think of all the teams that will already have a spot clinched in the playoff in the Big Ten and the SEC going into the last couple weeks.
That was why they wouldn't give us the playoff to begin with, because, it's going to ruin the regular season. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
Give us that Jim Hancock, whatever the hell his name is. And now they're just stretching it, and they're actually going to try and ruin the regular season. It's just funny to me. All right. Well, have a great long weekend. What are you going to do with Mom today? Last day with Mom?
Last day here. I don't know. We probably pool again. Oh! Going to grill some brat.
Yes.
Not
right?
those kind of brats.
What?
Not the circumcised brats that.
Did you see what Fareway Frank was grilling in our
look at that
graphic there? Look at that. He's got the
Is he
skin
grilling
on.
Williams' penis?
right underneath the bird shit all over my pants.
Frank doesn't care. That's why he wears an apron while he cooks. You can get bird crap on his apron, on his outfit.
Yeah, I usually only have brats once to twice a year, but it's on one of these holidays. You know, it's Memorial Day, it's 4th of July. I think we're going to give that a try. Ben Woke, you were manhandling that meat the other day.
Oh, we did some Fareway bird. Look at the quality. Let me go back. Just look at that meat. Oh,
the quality of that meat.
Quality of my meat.
Look at you. You're just
manhandling
that meat.
Great work, my friend.
Might as well do some little appetizer with the skinless brats there. Yeah, I did a skinless brat and a burger for dinner the other night.
This kid who lives next door to me, I was making some skinless brats over the weekend. I was getting ready to pull him off, and he was riding his bike by. Comes over and says hi to me. And I said, hey, you want a brat? He's like, yeah. And I handed him one. One of those skinless brats just like that. And the kid just eats it in like 3 bites. Oh, never been more impressed with the young man in my life.
You handed him was it on a bun?
Nope, just the meat.
That's how I do it.
What in the hell?
It's so good, you don't need a bun. Like you really don't. Like you're better off just eating it.
Get those like hoagie style buns or like a brat style bun they sell at Fareway. I chopped up some onions and peppers and sautéed those and threw it on top.
Oh baby, Maddie Van Chef.
Yeah.
Those onions and those peppers and oh, that mustard.
That son of a bitch Frank can cook.
Damn right.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks to all of our viewers and live viewers for Memorial Day. We will have an overthinking today coming up at noon.
Are we sure about that?
No Murph and Andy today. I'm going off of Van Weeks.
Okay. I hope so.
Maybe we call Mackenzie to make sure.
Well, she's been in the chat, and she hasn't corrected.
Mackenzie, is there an overthinking? She's probably working on the show.
Yeah.
I really hope there is. I hope someone. Yeah, she says yes. There will be an overthinking today.
Watch
it. Good.
Chris Hassel, Matt Van Winkle. My name is Chris Williams. We're presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery here in the Channel Seed Studios. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day.